Hello and welcome to the Chelsea Fans Channel. You're joining us for the Arsenal-Chelsea preview, part 2, where Sophia and I pick our team. Sophia, we've got a lot to talk about.
We do. We have a great deal to talk about. Defensive displays, striking options, but obviously there's only one place to start.
We've got to start
with the keeper.
In net, and it's got to be our boy Thibaut. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I think he picks himself.
He picks himself. There's not a lot. You know, there's not a lot else to say, is there?
No. So let's move on to the back four.
Yep.
Which obviously is our big worry at the moment, as we've conceded 5 goals in the last 2 games.
It's looking
we have
leaky.
Our poorest defensive display this season. But
yes.
I'm a big fan of sticking with
a losing formula.
Yeah,
no.
I just think rotation doesn't always help, and I think you do need to stick with the same back four to work on it and get better and improve if you
Exactly.
can.
And look, let's not be too doom and gloom about it. Let's pick out the positives of our back four. So we've got a new Branner has just been given a new one-year deal. You know.
Yep. So that's the
club
showing confidence in him.
And that's going to give him confidence stepping onto the pitch, knowing that he's wanted and we still love him and he's still considered a legend at our club. And even though he's had some dippy performances, let's say this year, he's still one of us.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Good news for Branner. On the other flank, we've got Azpilicueta,
who's scoring goals, by the way.
Yeah, and you've got a good stat in terms of, isn't he our most attacking-minded player or something?
Yes, it's the highest shot accuracy in the entire team. So that sort of
Which
says
is
it all.
embarrassing, isn't it? For our
exactly. I don't know if that's something we really do want to highlight.
For our right-footed left back,
is we are lacking in goals.
To be the most target-prone person.
Yeah, and he scored 2 goals.
He scored 2 goals. Okay, so we've got our wingback, we've got our fullbacks sorted. Central defence, John Terry goes without saying.
Picks himself. Like you said, 700th game in all competitions for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Despite the own goal, absolute hero at the end, scoring the equaliser.
I love that
and
when he dived into the Matthew Harding stand.
Yeah, exactly.
That was so good.
That was just sort of. He said it was a dream come true. He's always wanted to jump into the Matthew Harding end with an emphatic goal, and he did just that. And
guys, if any of you were in the Matthew Harding stand, like literally getting cuddled by John Terry when he scored that goal,
you all.
Please tell us what he said, because I read somewhere this week that when he jumped into the crowd, he said, it was brilliant, and I just wanted to repay the fans for, that 12-man support that we showed against Everton. And the interviewer said something like, "What did you say to the crowd?" And he said something like, "Whatever I said, I can't repeat it now, but I know it was good." So if you were there, expletives. We'll go for
just stars.
Asterisk. Say it like it is. If you were there, tell us exactly what JT said to you. So partnering John Terry in central defence.
Definitely Zuma.
Zuma.
Do you know something? And I was really surprised by this. Zuma's made 20 appearances in the league for us this season, which is 3 more than John Terry.
That is a stat that I really almost can't believe.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not calling you a liar.
What are you trying to say here, Jack?
So
listen, that's credit to how well Zuma's played, credit to how well he has, I think, learnt from John Terry.
Yeah.
I think he will only get better playing alongside John Terry.
Yes.
So I think that's definitely a centre-back pairing we should keep.
Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I agree that it should be Terry and Zuma. I do feel a bit sorry for Cahill at the moment. He's only I think he's had 12 appearances so far this year, and when you consider previous seasons, him and John Terry were first names on the team sheet each week. There's nothing you can do about it. There's only a certain amount of centre-back places you can pick, but do you feel a little bit sorry for Gaz?
Yeah, of course. I'm a big fan of Gary Cahill and what he's achieved at the club and what he's achieved for the Chelsea fans, but you know what? If you're going to go on form, Zuma's, I would say, arguably the most informed defender out of them all.
Yes, and Zuma he's growing in confidence, he's growing in stature every game. I love these slide tackles that he's doing as well.
Stamford Bridge, and it's just great to see him emulating a lot of John Terry's style of play.
Yeah.
And it's that, face first, no fear, kind of stalwart sort of English defending.
Yes, but with this sort of Gallic twist, he's got the, he's got the pace that John Terry
style.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the pace that John Terry never had. But definitely an exciting one for us, you know, for hopefully the seasons to come.
Yeah,
right.
So we are
Defence,
certain on
happy.
our back four. Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's go for our two holding defensive midfielders. And this is where there might be a bit of debate.
Yeah, I think, as you said in the preview, the part 1 video, that you think a lot of the battles will be won in midfield.
I think so. I mean, we've got Özil to contend with, and you know, he's going to be playing in that kind of number 10 role, I presume, for Arsenal. You know, looking to play the balls through to Giroud or Walcott or whoever's going to be starting, and we got to nullify that.
Yeah.
And I think to do that, you're talking about, you know, is it a day for Mikel? I mean.
Yeah. I think
half of me
where we
wants
are
to say
is
Matic, but
Mikel,
I think Matic had a bit of a...
Mikel, Matic, Fabregas is between those three as to how you rotate them.
Ramirez getting a shout? Come on.
Not for me against Arsenal.
Okay.
Just
I mean,
on lack of game time.
Yeah. I want Matic to start playing well again, right?
Yeah,
I'm sick of him just being the player that he isn't. Do you know what I mean? Like against Everton, I think his rating was like a 5 out of 10. He was just missing for too much of it, and we cannot afford for a person in that crucial position,
important role,
to be going missing in big games, especially against Arsenal. So
that's why
there's a big question mark for me over Matic.
I think Mikel gets my shout, and I think
Mikel.
Fabregas back at his old club. I actually think Fabregas has been on form recently.
Yeah. I think since Hiddink come in, he looks a different player, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the only thing about that is, we mentioned this before, that would we play him further up the field, where I think against Everton he was slightly more attacking. So are we going to lose the bit of positive form we've had recently by him being back?
I see what you're
slightly
saying.
More as the holding midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He was playing in a what seemed to be a more attacking role against Everton. I think he was labelled man of the match for that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Hiddink has been watching the Chelsea Fans Channel, because he did take our advice on board and played and played Fab further up the pitch.
And he's also got the highest pass accuracy in the team.
Has he?
Yeah. So that's something. I mean, and he's got the highest amount of assists, but they're only 3. So again, that's probably not something we want to really highlight,
brag about
amongst the team.
Yeah. I think he's coming back to his old club.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of animosity there from the crowd and everything like that. I think this is exactly this sort of game where Fabregas could really step up and basically boss it.
Yeah,
he's going to have a lot of fans booing him and stuff like that. But
I think some players revel in that, and they actually step up even higher. He got man of the match against Everton. Stick him in. He deserves to be chosen. So I think we go Mikel, Fabregas.
I think so, because then that gives us a bit more freedom to pick some other attack-minded players a bit further up, yeah?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Mikel, Fabregas, so lads, you're in.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go for the attacking 3 midfielders.
Well, I think the big boost is Hazard is back training. He was back training on Wednesday.
In contention. We don't know whether he's back in terms of 100% fit to start, but I don't know how you feel about it, Sophia, but for me, if he's ready, if he's fit, I want him on the pitch.
Yeah, so I would say definitely Hazard. Willian again is another player who picks himself entirely. Yep,
a bit of a quiet game for his standards against Everton, but
the man's allowed a slight sort of quiet day in the office.
He is, yeah. So we'll give you that one, Willian. And for me, Willian picks himself down the right flank.
So if we're picking Hazard, are you putting him in sort of slightly the number 10 role in the middle? For me, I'm gonna say Hazard on the left. I'm going to say Hazard on the left, because he loves to cut in on his right foot and stuff like that. I think that's probably his most effective position. Therefore, on the right goes Willian. So it's between maybe Oscar and Pedro. Yeah,
and personally, I don't really see Pedro as that kind of central attacking midfielder. So for me, it kind of got to be Oscar.
Yeah.
So Oscar, I mean, are we happy with that midfield?
Yeah. Willian, Oscar, Hazard.
Willian, Oscar, Hazard. It's got a nice ring to it. Yes.
So, and obviously, it all boils down to whether the big man, Costa, scored 5 in his last 5 appearances under Gus Hiddink.
Yep, he's on form, he's scoring goals, he's setting goals up, he's not getting into too many fights, which is good.
Just, yeah.
Ish. But, you know, let's not forget, the guy went to hospital after the Everton game. I mean, people are saying, oh, well, he just bruised his shin or whatever, but...
I hope, fingers crossed it is just bruising, but it didn't look great.
No, and, you know, you need a real whack, don't you, in order for it to be hospitalised with a bruised shin. So
he hasn't trained as well, obviously, which is a sign.
Yeah. But I think it's imperative, like, get the magic sponge out, get the magic spray, do whatever you need to do, because I think it's imperative Diego Costa starts up front, because we know for a fact that the Arsenal, what's the polite way to say this? There isn't one. I can't say it without swearing. The Arsenal pansies, let's say, don't like it up 'em. And Diego Costa...
So to speak.
Yes. And Diego Costa likes to put himself about, and, you know...
He can wind them up.
He can wind them up. And let's not forget, we've already beaten them this season. It's one of the few highlights of our season so far.
Yeah, I was about to say, and I think Costa was a key reason as to why we beat them and why they didn't end up with 11 men on the pitch. No,
so Gabriel, sorry about that. But, you know, Diego got his wrist slapped for it. He got retrospectively banned for his antics on the pitch. But at the end of the day, it kind of didn't matter because we won on the day. We got our 3 points. And I think we need Diego on the pitch. We need him ruffling feathers. We need him, you know, we need him to give the defenders something to think about.
Listen, I don't think it will be a remote debate for Gus Hiddink. If Costa is fit, he will play. If he is not fit and he cannot make it in time for Sunday, then it boils down to Remy. Which
we all like Remy, but we've forgotten what he looks like almost, haven't we?
Poor Remy's, this is again lack of game time. But I do like every time Remy comes on, he works hard. Yeah. He has quite a good record in scoring when he's got a knack.
He knows where the goal is.
He's a bit of a poacher. So listen, it'll be Remy obviously if Costa isn't fit.
But I mean,
but let's not get too
as much as I love Remy, I would feel my heart would sink slightly if I see the starting lineup and Costa's not in the centre forward position.
No. So we are going with Costa if he is fit.
Yes. So there you have it. Pretty strong team. I think you'll agree.
Massive game.
Massive game.
Come on, the Chelsea.
What do you agree with out of our starting 11, guys? Have we got it right? Have we ballsed it up massively? Let us know in the comments below. Would you like to see, would you like to see Remy on the pitch? Would you like to see Pedro given a starting berth?
Would you want to? Have we been incorrect by not including the youth such as Kennedy and Loftus-Cheek? So comment below.
Comment below and let us know your thoughts. Right, Sophia, thank you as ever for coming in.
Pleasure as always. See you soon.
Blue is the colour.
Welcome to Backpage Blues. I'm joined by Charlie the Hurricane Skillen from the Mail Online.
How are you, Raw?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Fine. And I have some good news for you. Charlie will be back in the studio tomorrow. We're going to have an extra long version of Backpage Blues. We're going to be joined by a few people on Skype. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. It should be good.